Imagine waking up in a world where you are no longer considered a person, but property, where your ability to read, write, and even speak freely has been stripped away, where your only value is tied to your body's ability to reproduce. Sounds like something from a far-off dystopian future, right? But what if I told you that Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale is based on real events from history, that the terrifying world of Gilead isn't as far from reality as we'd like to believe? This is a story about power, control, and survival. It's about how an ordinary woman, someone just like you or me, loses everything, yet fights to hold on to the one thing Gilead can't completely take away: her mind. Now, let's step into the world of Gilead, a world where power is absolute and resistance is deadly. Chapter 1: The Fall of America, How Gilead Was Born. Before we talk about Offred, our protagonist, we need to understand how America collapsed and became the totalitarian nightmare of Gilead. Atwood never gives us a precise timeline, but through Offred's memories, we piece together the terrifying transformation. 1. A fertility crisis, pollution, disease, and environmental destruction have led to mass infertility. Birth rates plummet, and society panics. 2. A theocratic takeover. A group of religious extremists, using fear and propaganda, stage a coup. They assassinate the president, dissolve Congress, and declare martial law. 3. A slow erosion of rights. At first, nothing seems drastic, but suddenly, women can't have jobs. Their bank accounts are frozen, their passports are revoked. Before they know it, they are prisoners in their own country. The scariest part? It all happens gradually. No one realizes how bad it is until it's too late. Chapter 2: Offred, the Woman Without a Name. Now let's meet Offred. That's not her real name. In Gilead, handmaids are stripped of their identities and renamed after the men they serve. Offred means of Fred, because she belongs to Commander Fred Waterford. Before Gilead, Offred was an ordinary woman. She had a job, a husband, Luke, and a dog, HTR. She went to coffee shops, read books, and lived freely, just like any of us. But after the regime took over, her husband was separated from her, her daughter was taken, and she was assigned to be a handmaid. What does that mean? A handmaid's sole purpose is to get pregnant. In a world where fertility is rare, women like Offred, who are still capable of bearing children, are turned into reproductive slaves for powerful men and their infertile wives. Every month, Offred is forced to participate in the ceremony, a horrifying ritual where the commander attempts to impregnate her while his wife, Serena Joy, watches. It's dehumanizing, violating, and justified through twisted religious doctrine. If she fails to conceive, she risks being labeled an unwoman and sent to the colonies, a wasteland where women are worked to death cleaning toxic waste. This is Offred's life. Every day is a battle between obedience and resistance. Chapter 3: The Women of Gilead, Divided and Controlled. Gilead maintains power by dividing women into strict roles. Wives, the highest-ranking women, married to commanders, but even they have little power beyond their homes. Aunts, the enforcers of the regime, training and disciplining handmaids. Marthas, domestic servants, cooking and cleaning for elite families. Handmaids, the most oppressed. Their only purpose is to conceive children. Unwomen, any woman who refuses to conform. They are sent to die in the colonies. Even though women should unite against their oppressors, Gilead ensures they remain divided. Wives resent handmaids. Handmaids fear aunts. Marthas distrust everyone. And that's the genius of Gilead's system. It turns women against each other so they never rise up together. Chapter 4: Offred's Small Acts of Defiance. In a world where women have no power, even the smallest act of rebellion is dangerous. Offred finds her first ally in Offglin, another handmaid who secretly belongs to Mayday, an underground resistance. Through whispers and stolen conversations, Offred realizes she's not alone. Then, something unexpected happens. the commander begins inviting her to his study. At first, they just play Scrabble, but in Gilead, even playing a simple word game is an act of defiance, because women aren't allowed to read. Soon, he gives her magazines, lotion, even lets her ask him questions. But why? Is he lonely? Or is this another way for a powerful man to manipulate a powerless woman? Chapter 5. Forbidden Love. Nick and the Risk of Hope. Amidst all the darkness, Offred finds something unexpected. Love. Or at least, something close to it. She starts an affair with Nick, the commander's driver. Unlike her forced encounters with the commander, being with Nick feels real, a small rebellion against a world that wants to erase her identity. But here's the terrifying question. Is Nick truly in love with her, or is he a government spy? In Gilead, trust is dangerous, and love is even more so. Chapter 6. The Ending. Escape or Entrapment. As Offred's story unfolds, tensions rise. Ovglin vanishes, likely punished for her rebellion. The commander's wife discovers Offred's secret meetings, and suddenly, the secret police, the eyes of God, arrive. Nick tells her to trust him. He whispers, "It's Mayday. Go with them." She steps into a black van, uncertain if she's being rescued or taken to her doom. And that's where the book ends. We never find out what happens to Offred. Does she escape, or is this just another trap? Margaret Atwood leaves us with an ambiguous ending, forcing us to ask, what would you do in Offred's position? Chapter 7. The Real-World Warnings of the Handmaid's Tale. At its core, The Handmaid's Tale is a warning. Margaret Atwood famously said that every event in the book has historical roots. Nothing is pure fiction. Throughout history, societies have controlled women's bodies, stripped away their rights, and justified oppression in the name of religion, morality, or protection. Gilead didn't happen overnight. It happened through fear, gradual restrictions, and silence, things that have happened before and could happen again. And that's why The Handmaid's Tale remains so powerful. It's not just a dystopian novel, it's a reflection of the past, and a cautionary tale for the future. Final thoughts. Would you survive in Gilead? So, what would you do in Offred's position? Would you comply, resist, or escape? This book forces us to ask difficult questions about freedom, power, and control. It challenges us to never take our rights for granted. If this breakdown made you think, hit that like button and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would you survive in Gilead? And if you love deep dives into books that challenge the way we see the world, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay aware, stay questioning, and never take your freedom for granted.